सेव किया था ना?
मैं सिर्फ इसलिए गया था क्योंकि उसने मुझे कॉल किया, that's it. But listen तो.
Save it for someone else.
जिंदगी में सेव करना जरूरी है, मगर जब बात पैसों की हो, सिर्फ सेविंग से काम नहीं चलेगा। इक्विटी म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट कीजिए और अपने सेविंग्स को आगे बढ़ने का मौका दीजिए।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
While on the first look, it may look like this episode of Cut The Clutter is about B.S. Yediyurappa, one of our favorite politicians because he's featured many times in national interest and on Cut The Clutter because he is the biggest heavyweight, the heaviest heavyweight that the BJP has had in the South. He's also a heavyweight with which the BJP has had more trouble than with any other anywhere in the country. Also, he's an unusual heavyweight again in the BJP who has very often or more often than not had his way. He has been wounded, he's acted like a wounded tiger, but he's had his way many times. Now, we've talked about that in the past, including in a 2019 national interest, of which I will share with the description of this episode of Cut The Clutter, both text and video links. So please take a look at that because that was 3 years back. However, today's Cut The Clutter is not so much about B.S. Yediyurappa and his clan. There is a lot about him, but that story, the Yediyurappa dynasty story, is about the change that we are seeing in the BJP right now, the BJP High Command, and also how its thought process is evolving for the 2024 general elections. So this episode is in fact more. It may look like it's about B.S. Yediyurappa, but yes and no. This does feature the story of Yediyurappa clan, but that clan actually becomes our window into the BJP's mind leading up to 2024 because it's quite evident now that the BJP is putting premium on every parliament seat. So look, it may sound like the BJP swept the last election, 2019, 2020, 2014. But the fact is that even in 2019, when it did much better, it was seen to have done much better than 2014, and it had, because its margin of victory had gone up in many places. But it exaggerated the extent of that victory because BJP's seats had only gone up by 30. So BJP was still 303 seats. So the gap between the halfway mark, 272, and what the BJP did at its best is only 30 seats. So the BJP worries that if somehow they go back, they fall back by 40, 50, 60 seats, then they fall below that magic mark of 272. And when that happens, if you fall short by 5 or 6, it's okay, but anything over 10, 15, 20, then changes the equation because then the BJP has to build a real coalition. Then it will become an NDA government. If the numbers fall really short, maybe by 30, 40, it becomes a more real NDA government, which means a coalition has to be formed and spaces have to be traded. That the Modi-Shah BJP is no longer used to. After 10 years, they don't want to have a third term with those compromises. That's why now there is premium put on every single seat anywhere. Now, Karnataka is a state that they particularly worry about because in Karnataka, the last time, Karnataka is an important state. In Indian terms, it's a larger mid-sized state. So once again, our old equation, the larger states are 40 and above, that is Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Bihar, and Maharashtra, and most important, Uttar Pradesh with 80 seats, Maharashtra with 48 seats. The next level then is the mid-sized states. Among the mid-sized states, the bigger ones are Madhya Pradesh 29, Karnataka 28, and then there is Andhra, Gujarat, Rajasthan and others. Karnataka is particularly important for the BJP because not only is Karnataka one state in the south that the BJP is very powerful in. BJP has ruled it with a majority in the past, but also because of the 28 seats that Karnataka sends to national parliament. BJP had won 25 directly the last time and one more, Suman Lata, she was independent but aligned with the BJP or NDA. So effectively, BJP had won 26 out of 28. In fact, I'm taking a short detour from the Yediyurappa saga for just a minute, just half a minute maybe, to tell you how important this is and how this is so much about, in fact, even more about posturing, about getting things ready for 2024 than bringing about some peace in the Karnataka unit of the BJP. Now, BJP has gone ahead and signed an alliance or a coalition, you might say, or a coalition of opposition parties in Karnataka with Devagowda's party. Devagowda's party means JDS. Now, they've signed up with JDS. JDS has been partners with BJP and Congress in the past. The last time they were partners with the Congress, they ran a state government briefly under Kumaraswamy in partnership with Congress. In the last Lok Sabha election, they had an electoral alliance with Congress. In spite of that, the BJP and its single ally got 26 out of 28. So why is it necessary for the BJP now to sign up an alliance with the same party which had been such a loser the last time? Because that party seemed to command a certain percentage of the vote of one of the dominant castes, one of the two most dominant castes in Karnataka, that is the Vocaligas. Now, BJP has been very strong among the Lingayats. BJP's preeminent Lingayat leader has been B.S. Yediyurappa, but BJP has never been so strong among the Vocaligas. So the idea is that if they get the Gowdas on their side, that will protect them in some more seats in case they see weakness developing, particularly because of the Congress having a full majority government in the state and also a lot of the people having voted for the Congress party in the last assembly election. So that's what's worrying the BJP. Now, think about it. If the BJP and ally got 26 seats out of 28 already, if they have an alliance now with Devagowda's party, they'll have to give them 4, 5, 6, some numbers of seats. In fact, in politics, everybody makes a very large demand. It's like the old story of somebody, it's a Punjab story, deep Punjab story, apocryphal, not for real. Somebody applying to the district magistrate for the license of a cannon, top ka license. And the district magistrate calls a person and says, why have you applied for license for a cannon, for a top? Who gives you license for a top? This goes to times when they used to be rationing on everything, particularly sugar. So if you had somebody getting married in your family, you went to the district magistrate, you asked for the license for a certain amount of sugar. If you asked for 10 bags, maybe you got the license for 1 bag. So this gentleman told the district magistrate, Saab Bahadur, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਸੀ, when my daughter was getting married, I had come to Saab Bahadur asking for license for a truckload of sugar. All you gave me was license for half a bag of sugar. Now, actually, I want license for only a pistol, but I thought I might as well apply for a cannon, so I get a pistol. So if a revolver license seeker in the 60s could apply for a cannon, right, a simple farmer in Punjab and Batinda, why not a party which has already given India a prime minister, despite not having even 30 seats of its own in national parliament, and which has held the position of chief minister of Karnataka once by itself and twice through leveraged buyouts. That is Kumaraswamy, the son of Devagowda. He's been chief minister in partnership with the BJP and in partnership with the Congress party. Why would that party also not make a very large demand? So that party may also demand the equivalent of a cannon or a truckload of sugar in the hope that they get maybe half a bag or a bag. Because even that half a bag or a bag in Karnataka's context will be a few seats, because of the 2 seats last time that did not go to the BJP. One had gone to JDS and one had gone to the Congress party. What this means is that BJP, to keep the new allies together, will actually sacrifice some of its own seats, but serving MPs will be made to sit aside to accommodate the Gowdas. What that means is that the BJP wants to cover all bases for 2024. It is underlining the same desperation. You can call it desperation or you can call it just the Modi-Shah way, because Modi-Shah way is fully focused only on one thing, that is winning elections. It is in the same quest that the party has now accommodated not just B.S. Yediyurappa but his son. Now the party has broken many principles in this accommodation. The provocation or the news spec for this episode of Cut The Clutter is that B.S. Yediyurappa's son Vijayendra, B.S. Vijayendra, has now been appointed head of the party in Karnataka. Since the party had failed, since it lost the elections, the party had failed as yet to appoint its party chief in the state and also its leader of opposition. Obviously did not think very much of the outgoing chief minister, Basavaraj Bommai, the son of S.R. Bommai, who never actually rose to the stature of a true chief minister and was never treated as such, because even in the campaign, he was not seen as a vote catcher. He was seen more as a stopgap chief minister, and then he fell by the wayside. The party, however, did not fill the position of the leader of opposition and the party chief. Now Vijayendra has been appointed party chief. See how many rules has the party broken. First of all, in the immediate political context, right? And these are unqualified. That means without any qualification. First of all, the party said one family or one dynasty, one position, right? In this case, there are two clear positions. That is, one, Yediyurappa himself is a member of the Central Parliamentary Board of the party. It's a very powerful board, only 11 members. It's a different matter that in the Modi-Shah BJP, these boards do not count for that much, or at least that's the belief. But he is one of the 11 on that parliamentary board, which really means restoring his prestige, which the party had done earlier on when they had started to worry that his absence or his being angry or his being disaffected will affect their chances in the elections. That didn't help their chances in the elections very much. Nevertheless, at that point in 2022, they had even refused to give an MLC's, a member legislative council's position to Vijayendra, saying that one dynasty, one family, one position. Shortly afterwards, even before the party had announced its own candidates, Yediyurappa said that he was not going to contest from his assembly seat again, Shekaripura, that's his family seat, but his son will contest from there. So he announced his son's candidature even before the party high command had done. Now the same man now, he was elected MLA, the same man now has been appointed the party's chief. So you have the father as a member of Central Parliamentary Board of the party and son as the state party chief. Now if you think on top of it, the cherry on the cake is that Yediyurappa's other son, that is Raghavendra, is already a member of parliament. So in this case, one dynasty, three positions. And there are many other political families in the BJP which have suffered simply because the party has said that we follow a rule, one family, one position. Something that I'm more familiar with, say in Haryana. So there is old senior leader Vijayendra Singh, Jat leader, whose son became an MP. He got the Lok Sabha ticket from Hisar, but then the father got nothing. And there are many such examples, similar examples abound in the BJP. For B.S. Yediyurappa, however, there is either a constitutional amendment every time or there is a new constitution. So look at the area in which Yediyurappa has forced the BJP to bow down to him. And this is an indication to many other state leaders, and you can be sure that Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh, Raman Singh in Chhattisgarh, Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan, the three states going to the polls, are all watching it very closely, as also some leaders in other states. So first of all, this BJP does not like to defer to regional leaders. In case of Yediyurappa, they've had to do so, and now they are not doing it because they want to win the state elections. They've already been devastated in the state elections. They've just lost the state elections. State elections are not going to happen for quite some time. Yet, the reason they have deferred to this one dynasty, this one state leader who is so uncharacteristic, whose very presence is so uncharacteristic of the BJP. I will subsequently list a bunch of areas in which he defies all of the Modi-Shah BJP's principles or restrictions or rules. And the only reason the Yediyurappas are successful in making the BJP do this is because the BJP is really fully focused now on 2024. They got 26 out of 28 the last time. They don't want to go lower than that, or at least much lower than that. Ideally, if you ask them, of course, they'll wish to have 28 out of 28 and even maybe 29 out of 28 if such a thing was possible. But such things are not possible. They want to cover their bases. That's why this compromise with Gowda's party, JDS, and that's why this differential response to Yediyurappa, who happens to be their tallest leader there, because they know that if Yediyurappa is disaffected, which means a lot of the Lingayat vote, which is the BJP's mainstay, that will be disaffected. If that is the case, again with the presence of Congress in power there, they might suffer a loss of a larger number of seats than they can afford, because their fight is not about 303. Their fight is about 30 to 40 seats, because unless they win those 30 to 40 seats, they will fall short of 272, which is what they do not want. And that's where they're looking at states where they suspect they might be under threats. That is Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Karnataka, a little bit Odisha, and so on. See also the difference between the treatment of the Yediyurappa clan and Raman Singh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and Vasundhara Raje in the three Heartland states. All three have been fielded in the elections, but none has been announced as chief ministerial candidate. Two of them are former chief ministers, and one is a fourth-term reigning chief minister. At the same time, we have seen a little bit of change in the BJP's approach. Earlier, for example, when Prime Minister Modi was going and campaigning in Madhya Pradesh, then he was talking about his schemes and things, etc., but not talking so much about Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Lately, his last few meetings, he's kept on mentioning Shivrajji several times, and that tells you that once again there is an inclination to keep the party's local leaders, local stalwarts in the tent, and not to make them feel humiliated, or maybe, to put it more correctly, not to any longer make them feel humiliated. For Raman Singh's nomination filing, Home Minister Amit Shah himself was present, which was seen as a big gesture. Vasundhara Raje, work in progress, because the campaign is yet to pick up. Election is only on the 25th, and let us watch what happens when Prime Minister goes on his final spin through the state once he is done with Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So once again, we'll see indications coming out of Rajasthan in case there is some kind of rehabilitation of Vasundhara Raje also, because once again, all of this is being done by BJP, not so much because they are afraid of losing in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, but also because they are concerned about keeping that 303 together, or definitely going past the 272 mark in 2024. Now, I had told you just a while back that I list for you the few points on which B.S. Yediyurappa has defied the party's rules, his high command's rules. Number one, BJP's supposedly principled opposition to Parivarvad or dynastyism, because BJP's attack, Prime Minister Modi's attack on almost every rival, from the Congress party to KCR, almost every, or even DMK, his attack on every party is because they are run by families and dynasties, and merit does not rise. So BJP has taken a principled position against dynasties. Now we keep doing stories saying, but BJP has so many dynasts, etc. But there are dynasts and dynasts and dynasts. When a dynast also is given ownership of a state, that becomes a completely different thing, and that is something you don't expect from the BJP, from this BJP. So first of all, Yediyurappa and his party have defied that principle, and BJP has had to compromise on that. Second, this BJP's idea that they don't like a strong state leader who can swing the state by themselves. They don't like it. That's the reason they put particularly weak leaders or leaders with no mass base as chief ministers after 2014, and continued on for some time. There was Raghuvar Das in Jharkhand, Manohar Lal Khattar in Haryana, Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra. In the course of time, it looks like that policy is unraveled. Ideally, BJP would have liked to put a newcomer even in Madhya Pradesh. They were left no choice but to put Chauhan there, but they've never been at peace with Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh. Now they might be changing given the circumstances. That BJP has had to accept a strong state leader in BSY, B.S. Yediyurappa, and not just that, a strong caste leader, because he commands the loyalty of one of the biggest caste groups in Karnataka, the Lingayats. And in fact, if you check out the political history of Karnataka, the main reason the BJP got such a big support there and came to power there was that the Lingayats felt humiliated because of the way Rajiv Gandhi treated Virendra Patil, who was a Lingayat leader, respected Lingayat leader, and the chief minister. There were communal riots in the state. Rajiv Gandhi by this time was out of power, head of the Congress party. His party was power in Karnataka. So Rajiv Gandhi left his home, went to some riot-affected areas, and then at airport on his way out, on his way to Madras, then he called the press and announced that a legislature party meeting was to be held and a new leader was to be elected. The governor defied it. It's a long story which I'm cutting short. In the process, Virendra Patil lost his job. He was replaced by Bangarappa, and then came Virappa Moily. But the fact is that Lingayats collectively saw that as a humiliation of their community. That is when the BJP was ready, because BJP state chief already had been Yediyurappa as a young man. And he then vacuum cleaned that vote. And the High Command is now concerned that that vote should not get divided, because the Lingayat chief minister they had appointed in his place, Yediyurappa's place, S.R. Bommai, did not show any promise in that area. Finally, the fourth point, zero tolerance for corruption. The BJP makes a big deal of not accepting any corruption or anybody who's been called corrupt. It's a different matter than that. It's a different matter that now they've been taking a lot of people from the opposition who were charged with corruption. The moment they go through the BJP laundromat, you know that they get all right. That said, Yediyurappa is a man from inside, from within, who was charged with corruption, sent to jail, charged with corruption based on an adverse report by a very strong Lokayukta in his state, that was Justice Santosh Hegde, lost his job because of corruption, then rebelled, then formed another party in 2013 election, only won 6 seats out of 24, but took away 10% of the vote, and that vote shift devastated the BJP. BJP was going to lose. BJP was going to do badly anyway, because they had run a very bad government, a very unstable government, having chief ministers within 5 years, that is Yediyurappa, Sadanand Gowda, and also Jagdish Shettar. And where are they now? Sadanand Gowda by this time has retired from politics, or said he's retired from electoral politics. And Jagdish Shettar, who was also a Lingayat, has now joined the Congress party. So BJP has had a tough time there. And in that election 2013, because Yediyurappa was a rebel, BJP was reduced to 40 seats. Later, when Narendra Modi came back, once again he accommodated Yediyurappa and brought him back. Yes, Yediyurappa at 80 now is continuing to be defiant of the High Command. The important thing is, despite challenging the High Command repeatedly, he is winning, as his son's appointment now further underlines. And the larger political message is that he's winning big time now, at a point when political power in the state is not at stake, because that state election has taken place. He's winning because his party's High Command is now more concerned about getting their own third term in power.